Om Namo Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nastaplayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Bhakti Bhavati Naistiti. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 13, Description of Further Manus. From text 13. Text 13. Bali Maharaj gave a gift of 3 places of land to Lord Vishnu, and because of this charity he lost all the 3 worlds. Later, however, when Lord Vishnu is pleased, because of Bali giving everything to him, Bali Maharaj will achieve the perfection of life. Text 14. With great affection, the personality of Godhead found Bali and then installed him in the kingdom of Sutana, which is more opulent than the heavenly planets. Maharaj Bali now resides on this planet and is more comfortable situated than Indra. Text 15 and 16. O King, during the 8th Manvantara, the great personalities Galava, Deepti, Man, Parshuram, Ashwadhama, Kripacharya, Rasya, Sringa, and our father Vyasadeva, the incarnation of Narayana, will be the 7 sages. For the present, they are all residing in their respective ashramas. Text 17. In the 18th Manvantara, the greatly powerful personality of Godhead, Sarvabhauma, will take the birth. His father will be Deva Guhya, and his mother will be Saraswati. He will take the kingdom away from the Purandhara Lord Indra and give it to Bali Maharaj. Text 18. O King, the 9th Manu will be Daksha Sa Sarvanu, who is born of Varuna. Among his son will be the Bhutaketu and Ketu. Text 19. In this 9th Manvantara, the Paras and Marichi Garbhas will be among the demigods. The king of heaven, Indra, will be named Aptuta, and Tutiman will be among the 7 sages. Text 28. Vrashya, Bhanudeva, uh, and Paritala, incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will take the birth from his father Ayushman and his mother Abdudhara. He will enable the Indra name Abduta to enjoy the opulence of the 3 worlds. Text 21. The son of Upashloka, known as Brahma Sarvani, will be the 10th Manu. Bhurisena will be among his son, and the Brahmanas headed by the Havisman will be the 7 sages. Text 22. Haviswama, Sukrita, Satya, Jaya, Murti, and others will be the 7 sages. The Suyasan and Viruddhas will be among the demigods, and Swayambhu will be their king Indra. Text 23. In the home of Vishwastra, a planetary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead will be appeared from the womb of Visuchi, has the incarnation known as Vishwaksena. He will make friends with Swayambhu. Text 24. In the 11th Manvantara, the Manu will be the Dharma Sarvani, who will be the extremely learned in the spiritual knowledge. From him there comes the 10 sons headed by the Satyadharma. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, is it possible to make me co-host? I'm not able to share the screen.
Yeah, I think Mataji can make it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I hope the screen is visible. Screen is visible?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Let's start with prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ककी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So what we have been seeing in this chapter is we are seeing the description of the future Manus that has been predicted in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And yesterday in verse 12, we concluded that in the period of 8th Manu, among the demigods will be Sutapas, and the king of the demigods Indra will be Bali Maharaj. So it is predicted that in the future Bali Maharaj will be the next Indra in the period of 8th Manu. And if anybody has Bhagavad Subodhini, this chart is very nicely given by His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. I'll probably share this. How he has segregated is Manus, and then what are the different types of demigods, and then who's the son of the Manu, and who will be Indra, what will be the name of the person who's taking the position of Indra. So Indra is the position. And then who will be the 7 sages, 7 rishis during that period of Manu, and who will be the Amshavatar, who will be the plenary portion of Lord Vishnu being incarnated in that Manu, and then the activities of the Lord. See, Prabhuji has very nicely tabulated this, because if you just read the verses, it's very difficult for us to comprehend what each avatar or each personality is actually meant for. So this table is very nicely given by Prabhuji so that we can assimilate these verses very easily. But today's discussion, we will focus primarily on Bali Maharaj's pastime in verse 13 and 14, because in verse 13, the summary of Bali Maharaj is given. Bali Maharaj gave, all of us are aware of this pastime, right? Very popular pastime within the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. When Bali Maharaj took away everything from the Devatas, Lord Vamanadev appears. And Lord Vamanadev is the son of Kashyapa and Aditi. And he appears in the form of a mendicant. And he's very effulgent in a dwarf form. And he goes to Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj becomes captivated. And it is mentioned in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam that Bali Maharaj wanted to give something in charity. Then his spiritual master Shukracharya stops him that you should not give any charity because he is Lord Vishnu, he will take everything from you. Bali Maharaj actually starts giving very nice reasons. He says that if some Brahmana comes to our home, if we don't give charity, then that is not so auspicious. And even if it is Lord Vishnu, then what is the loss? We are meant to give everything to him. So then Vamanadev asks that just give me 3 paces of land. And first, when Bali Maharaj asks, what do you want? Vamanadev says that it's a very important lesson for us to learn. He says that even if you give all the things of the 3 worlds, I will not be satisfied if I ask something for sense gratification. We were hearing the other day a class. It was mentioned in the class that for a karmi, meaning a person who is mad after sense gratification, it's very rare to find even a karmi. Karmi means a person who's wanting sense gratification according to the injunctions of the Shastra or the Vedas. So to find even a karmi is very rare in this world, because at least before all of us, before coming to bhakti, how many of us were really following the Vedic principles? If not for Srila Prabhupada, right? For such a person, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita says that there is no end for sense gratification. Srila Prabhupada writes that even if we have $1 million, we will want another $1 million. If I have a home, I will want another home. So there is no end for this. So Vamanadev is mentioning the same thing in the 8th canto, that nothing will satisfy a person in the 3 worlds. But if you want, you can just give me 3 paces of land. And Bali Maharaj agrees, despite his spiritual master Shukracharya, who in this pastime was disagreeing with, because Shukracharya was, our acharyas mentioned, he was mad after Bali Maharaj's opulence. He was not an ideal guru. And Bali Maharaj rejected his instruction because he was not ideal. Because an ideal guru will want a disciple go close to Krishna. So Bali Maharaj rejects his guru's instruction and he agrees to give 3 paces of land to Vamanadev. And Vamanadev, with 2 steps, with 1 step he covers the entire universe, and with the other step he covers the entire planetary systems. With 2 steps he covers the entire universe, and he asks, what else is left? Where will I keep my 3 steps? 3rd step. And Bali Maharaj, see, the most important aspect of this pastime is Bali Maharaj being a grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. Because we saw in the 7th canto that Prahlad Maharaj was given the benediction that by Narasimhadev, Lord Narasimhadev, that 21 generations, past and future, will be liberated. And my spiritual master in one class, he mentions, what does this benediction actually means? I think some devotee asked Maharaj, does it mean that everyone gets a chance, everyone goes back home, back to Godhead? Maharaj mentions no. That it is not that everyone is automatically going back home, back to Godhead. But the doors are open for them. It is like how we all met devotees. If we actually look back at our own lives, at least I have not done anything pious in my life, for sure. To come in contact with devotees, to come in contact with Srila Prabhupada's movement. And whether I am receiving it or not, at least the mercy is coming. What is my qualification? Like Srila Prabhupada said, we had no qualification. But because of Prahlad Maharaj's being born in the family of Daityas, throughout all his generations, the future generations, get that opportunity to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I heard this from my Gurudev that it is very interesting to see that Prahlad Maharaj's son Virochan wasn't, we shouldn't say wasn't, he didn't become a great devotee. But Bali Maharaj, we see in this pastime, when the third step was asked, where should I keep? He bowed down his head and he said, you can keep on my head. We see that how a pure devotee in a particular family can make a difference to that generation. So it is so my spiritual master, he says that it depends on that particular living entity's free will. That free will is never gone. It's never taken away from a jiva. That free will is still there with that jiva to really know, to really make that choice whether to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead or not. Because until this time, Bali Maharaj, apparently in this pastime, was diverted. Just like Krishna mentions to Yudhishthira Maharaj in the 10th canto, Yasyaham anugrahami grinami harishye dadhanam shanai. This is Srila Prabhupada's favorite verse. Srila Prabhupada also mentioned in one of his Bhagavatam classes that because he might have been diverted, Krishna took everything away from him in his life. When Nitya Siddhas come into this world, they play a role as though they are somebody of this world. Krishna took everything away from Srila Prabhupada. He was a very successful businessman. Similarly, Bali Maharaj also, everything was taken away from him. He was in front of his relatives, in front of his spiritual master. He was humiliated by Garuda tied Vasuki around him. Completely humiliated, everything was taken away from him. But he still surrendered. And that is why Srila Prabhupada writes in the verse 13 purport, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Out of many millions of people, one may attempt to achieve success in life. And this success is explained here. Radam Indra Padam Hitva Tata Siddhim Avapsyati. Siddhi consists of achieving the favor of Lord Vishnu, not the yoga siddhis like Anima, Magima, Mahima, Lagima, Prapti, becoming smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest. These things come to a pure devotee. When Srila Prabhupada was there on this planet, many of his disciples say, Prabhupada sometimes does some miracles. Some disciples have even seen Prabhupada's legs lift on the air, not walk on, not his feet not touch the ground. So many miracles Prabhupada has done, but in a very subtle way, not showing off that he has many yoga siddhis. But the pure devotees don't care about these yoga siddhis. We know many of Prabhupada's disciples also exhibit these siddhis. Personally, we have heard from so many of Prabhupada's disciples exhibit these yoga siddhis. But they don't care about any of these siddhis that they have by the mercy of Krishna. Because according to them, the only siddhi that they want in life is to please Krishna. Some siddhir haritoshanam, every moment. It's not that like a conditioned soul like myself, only while chanting or only while studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Moment to moment, they want to please Krishna. Whatever situation they are. That is the surrender that Krishna is actually expecting from us. Are we surrendering to Him and His representatives in this world moment to moment? And that's what actually differentiates between a conditioned soul and a liberated soul or a pure devotee. And Bali Maharaj is showing by example. Even if the whole world is against him, he surrendered to Lord Vamanadev. And that's what actually it takes. That's what it takes to actually please Krishna to the fullest. Because to really love somebody, if we really want to love somebody in this world, we will go out of our way to do anything for that person, isn't it? This is just a mundane example. The so-called love of this world. There is no, Srila Prabhupada said, there is no love in this world only. It is not love. Love should be unconditional and unmotivated. That doesn't exist in this world. It is always with some expectation. So it cannot be love. It is lust. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. So to actually love Krishna, we have to be ready to do anything for him. Which is what the Vrajavasis exhibited. Which is what Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, page after page, pastime after pastime, shows. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came into this world along with his representative to show this type of surrender. Because otherwise, how will we know how to surrender? Because we often hear that Mahaprabhu comes as a devotee to show that how to surrender, how to become a devotee. Because Krishna, that's what Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. That Krishna thought, well, I have spoken so much in Bhagavad Gita, but I have not shown people how to be a devotee. But Mahaprabhu never comes alone. Krishna is never alone. He comes along with his Parshad. This is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Swaparshada Sviya Dhama Sahavatari Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kori Bare Dana Shikaye Sharanagati Bhakatera Prana. Sharanagati. He came to teach how to surrender to Krishna. And somebody called him Krishna, he will keep his ears closed and shout Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu and run away from that place. And we see in Mahaprabhu's pastime, Kolavicha Sridhar, we have heard this pastime so many times. When Mahaprabhu was showing his opulence for 21 hours in Mahaprakash Leela as a Supreme Lord, according to the mood of every devotee had a different mood. Seeing Mahaprabhu. Murari Gupta was in the mood of Hanuman, so he was seeing Mahaprabhu as Lord Ramachandra. So every devotee was seeing Mahaprabhu in a different mood. And suddenly Mahaprabhu remembers Kolavicha Sridhar because this was so many years ago. He has not met Kolavicha Sridhar. Because when he was as a teenager, every day he used to go and argue with Kolavicha Sridhar for getting some banana leaves and leaf cups. Kolavicha Sridhar was just a simple man. Whole night he will be chanting the holy names, and during the day he will be selling some banana leaf plates and banana cups across the river of Ganges. And whatever profit he had, 50% he will give to Mother Ganga and 50% he will use for his own maintenance. This was Kolavicha Sridhar. Nobody knew that he was even a devotee. None of his associates knew that there was a person like Kolavicha Sridhar even existed. Mahaprabhu tells during Mahaprakash Leela that go and bring Kolavicha Sridhar. Devotees are asking, who is Kolavicha Sridhar? Where can we find him? Mahaprabhu tells that you go to so-and-so place and you will hear somebody loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You will come to know. And the devotees don't ask anything. They go and follow Mahaprabhu's instruction and try to find, and they hear somebody loudly chanting the holy name. And they find Kolavich Sridhar and they go inside Kolavich Sridhar's small little home and they tell that Mahaprabhu is calling you. And as soon as Kolavich Sridhar hears that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is calling him, is he calling me? Is he calling for me? And he faints. He goes unconscious. He couldn't believe that he was being called by the Supreme Lord. And then the devotees, they didn't know what to do. He is unconscious. They just carried him and they went to the place where Mahaprabhu was exhibiting his opulence. And then Kolavich Sridhar is brought there and he comes back to consciousness. And when Kolavich Sridhar sees Mahaprabhu exhibiting these pastimes, he becomes awestruck. And then Mahaprabhu sees Kolavich Sridhar and he says, Sridhar, offer prayers to me. And Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says that Kolavich Sridhar is not even educated. We have so much, we should be so grateful to Srila Prabhupada for giving so much to us in the form of literatures and the ability to read only. Forget about understanding. Ability to study his books itself is a great mercy. Kolavich Sridhar had no education. He was telling Mahaprabhu, how will I actually recite prayers? I don't know how to recite prayers. And our acharyas say at that time, by Mahaprabhu's glance, Saraswati Devi entered into Kolavich Sridhar. Just like Dhruva Maharaj was standing like a dumb person, a 5-year-old boy, didn't know what to say to Lord Vishnu. When Lord Vishnu placed the conch on the head of Dhruva Maharaj. Similarly, Mahaprabhu's glance, Kolavich Sridhar was empowered by Saraswati Devi to offer eloquent prayers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in one of the prayers, Kolavich Sridhar says that you have descended into this world to give bhakti, and you can be approached only by pure bhakti, which is very confidential even in the Vedas. And after he offers several prayers, Mahaprabhu becomes very pleased with Kolavich Sridhar. This is in connection with the purport that we are seeing today. Mahaprabhu asks, I want to give you some benediction now. You need to tell me what you want. My spiritual master says that Mahaprabhu Krishna is also called Varadaraj, who resides in Kanchipuram in South India. Varadaraj means he is very eager to give benedictions to his devotees. Kolavich Sridhar says, no, I don't want anything. I only want your bhakti. I don't want anything else. Mahaprabhu says, I want to give you all 8 mystic perfections. Sridhar says, I do not want, my dear Lord. I do not want anything. I only want to see that small boy Nimai coming and arguing with me for 2 hours every day to get some banana leaf plates and leaf cups, life after life. I don't want anything in my life. And Mahaprabhu says, no, I want to still give you something. I am ready to give you the opulence of the heavenly kingdom. Sridhar says, no, I only want unalloyed bhakti, life after life to you. I don't want anything else. And Mahaprabhu becomes very pleased with Kolavich Sridhar. And he says, because you have asked this, you will achieve pure devotional service, confidential even in the Vedas. And Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says that nobody will find such a personality like Kolavich Sridhar even in higher planets. Even Lord Brahma is not aware of the greatness of Kolavich Sridhar. And all the devotees, when Mahaprabhu gave such benediction to Kolavich Sridhar, all the devotees around were shouting, Jai, Jai, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. They were so happy for Kolavich Sridhar. Often we see, right, many devotees also in some Bhagavatam class, I remember once Sundarachala Prabhu also was quoting from Antalila, that all the devotees were so happy when some other devotee is being given the mercy of Krishna. So we see that Mahaprabhu is coming and teaching us the fourth verse of Shikshashtakam. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmani ishware bhavatat bhakti rahituki tvai. Through all his parshads, the Nitya Siddhas coming from the spiritual world, they are teaching us this is the goal of our life. Krishna, you do whatever with me. How many ever lifetimes it takes for me to really understand you, but we are aspiring only and only for unalloyed bhakti and nothing else. And because of such a prayer and surrender, because see, Bali Maharaj never mentioned anything out of his heart. Everything was within his heart because he was scared. Bhagavatam explains that he was scared to tell even anything because in front of his spiritual master. He just offered all his prayers within his mind, and Lord Vamanadev knew, he knows everything. Krishna knows everything. He knows all our intentions, and because of that, because of his surrender with great affection, in text 14 it is said, the personality of Godhead bound Bali and then installed him in the kingdom of Sutala. He said that you will be the next Indra, but until then, until you get your chance to become next Indra, you will be the king of Sutala planet, which is called Bilaswarga, below the earth, according to the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And I will be your gatekeeper, Lord Vamanadev says, to protect you. And even though Bilaswarga is completely dark, there is not even a question of sunlight there. And Lord Vamanadev says that even though you are surrounded by demoniac personalities in the lower planetary systems, you will not be affected. So, through this pastime of Bali Maharaj, Krishna is teaching us that unless and until we come to this point of complete Sharanagati surrender, there is no question of understanding Vrindavan. Because we see that the Vrajavasis, any problem they have, immediately they shout for Krishna. Not for their own safety. Because their mood of shouting when, say, the fire demon comes and the entire forest is created by fire and the cowherd boys and the cows are moving, the cowherd boys are all shouting, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. They are not shouting for their own life. My spiritual master says that the mood in Vrindavan is, if I am not here at this moment, how will I serve? Who will serve Krishna? Who will serve Krishna? There is nobody to serve Krishna. That is their mood. Even though there are unlimited pure devotees living in Vrindavan, every devotee, even a plant, even a blade of grass, even a tree, even an animal in Vrindavan is thinking, how can I serve Krishna at this moment to my fullest extent? So the path of bhakti that our acharyas have come to give us, by the mercy of spiritual master, we are wanting to come to that point sometime in our life and pray for that consciousness while practicing bhakti, that Krishna, please, I don't want anything else. Please give me an opportunity to practice pure devotional service to you. And these are the two purports that were important today, so I thought I'll spend time on that. I'm sorry I went 4 minutes over. I'll pause here. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Whatever I have spoken today is I'm simply repeating the words of the previous acharyas and my spiritual master. If I spoke anything incorrectly, that is because I've always been a conditioned soul, so please forgive me. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.